Raymond, the show band era was always was a remarkable era in the history of Irish music and the history of world music. You were involved in the dance bands, but how did that whole scene evolve into the show band era?
When the dance bands nearly came to an end, the show bands started, and I've been told that the Clipper Carton was the first to start the show bands in Ireland, start the show band scene in Ireland.
Okay.
And I've been told also that it was down in St. Hugh's Hall in Mohill one night. They were playing there, and the crowd were a bit slow to get on the floor.
Right.
And they thought to themselves, oh, we'll try this. And they threw back the chairs, got up with the chairs,
Right.
threw the chairs back, and stood up and started to play Dixieland jazz to them.
Right.
And, from there on, it's reckoned that the show band developed from that on.
God, imagine. And Mohill.
And Mohill. I've been told that by a fella that knows quite a bit about music too, a man called John Merricks from Ciaran.
Right. Right. Isn't that something that it all began in Mohill?
Yeah, that's something alright. And after that the show band went from
strength to strength, really.
Strength to strength is right. I joined a band in Ciaran called the Paul Anthony
Right.
band in 1960, and we toured.
That was just after your tenure with the dance band in Mohill?
After the dance band Mohill, yes. They disbanded then, and when the show bands came along, so they were taking in bands then from different places. They
Right.
didn't want the same band every night then, after that. So they started taking in show bands then from all around there, different parts of Ireland, like, you know. So we started to tour then too, and we're all semi-professional now. We weren't professional, semi-professional, and we would go as far down as the Ballroom Romance down Leitrim,
Right.
and did all around Donegal and most parts of South Donegal. So that was a good time. We did a couple of stunts in Scotland,
Right.
Glasgow a couple of times, and we played a time or two in Dublin, and but those journeys were kind of long for us, and being semi-professional.
Being semi-professional, you wouldn't be expected to go too far, you know what I mean?
No, we would go down to Castle Bar on a Sunday night to the town hall there. We played there on quite a regular basis. You know.
Right.
Did a few venues around Mayo too as well, you know. And that was a great time, great time.
Good times.
Great time, yes.
How does the Clipper Carton fit into it all? Were they were of course one of the most, well, probably the most famous show band of the era, really.
The first and the most famous. They were very, 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 very polished, and anything they did it very well. They did the show as well as being able to play music. They could put on a show as well.
Right.
And that stood for them, you know, and they were really top of the class. You were saying that. And the Royal came in then, Brendan Boyer, and they were very, very
the
good.
Royal Show Band.
Quite a lot of others, the Capital Show Band, and the Dixies from Cork, and
such a great amount of them.
We had Melodious from Newton Stewart, and they were very, very good too as well. Plus a lot of bands from Derry, with Gay McIntyre, and Johnny Quigley, and all those bands. They were touring all over Ireland.
Right.
They were big at that time.
Everybody
got a lot of employment was given to all those boys that played in those bands.
Right.
And very good employment too, and they got you know, some of them looked after it and done well.
Or even Brendan Boyer, they even would have went to Las Vegas, didn't they?
Oh, they did. They went then whenever things dulled down a wee bit here. They went to Las Vegas. Then they formed the Big Eight, I think it was. They called them.
Right. God, imagine that.
Formed a band called the Big Eight.
And to think it all, the show band era started locally, you know what I mean? It's strange, isn't it?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Your set list would have been fairly long. You played for a good few hours in your gigs. How long would your set list have been, maybe? And, you know, would you have changed it about much, or would it have been?
First night I played with the band for a long dance was in Deary's Hall in Malmtown, and at that time the long dances were from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock
Right.
in the morning.
God, that's a long stint, isn't it?
And that was 6 hours, but I was really tired after that night.
I would say that.
The shoulders were a bit sore because of it. I was young, the accordion was heavy. But after that then they cut the dances back to 2 o'clock.
Right.
And most of them didn't start till around about 10. And before the people came in, it would be guts of 11. So we hadn't as long a night after that. But the clock, so they didn't start till about 9 and finished at 12. So they weren't too long either. They were pretty
That was grand, like it was. And when you would play locally too, as you say yourself, you would have been grand because you could go on out home and
very, very handy. The resting job, and once you're finished, you just put the instrument into the case, and you walked out the door, and it was there. You left it there on the stage, and you left it in the hall, and you come back the next night and do the same thing over again. So it was quite handy. Like you had no travelling to do at all, no packing or no carrying or nothing.
It was grand, wasn't
Very
it?
easy.
Would you have many people coming from different arts and parts for during the summer? Would you have
Oh, we would surely at that time. There was from early 50s up to 60s. There were a lot of people from all around Ireland, like they come to Mull for a holiday finish. And there was a terrible lot of guest houses and what else, keeping people that time too. So that we had a terrible lot of different nationalities.
Wow.
Coming,
Changed times too in different ways, isn't it?
The majority were Scotch now.
Right.
Majority were Scotch, and they were very, very great dancers, very jolly people, and wild for a song, dancing song. Wild for loved it. So they were very easy to play to. They were
very good.
Very easy to play to.
Well, Raymond, what advice would you give to young performers now that are trying to make it as musicians, maybe professionally, and to local ones that just do it as an interest?
I say keep at it, keep practicing and perfecting, and keep playing, because it's very, very easy carried. And if you get a kick out of it, which you will do, especially when we played to dancers, you got a great feedback from the floor. It became a totally different scene whenever we had to play then to a sitting audience.
Right.
We were used to playing, when I started in the dance band, we were all dancing, and you got a great feedback. But then when the dancing stopped, and people began to go to the pubs and sitting audience at the hotels and places like that, it was a different reaction you got, But you got used to it then. Like people seemed to like it too, and you would know when they were enjoying it, But the other was there was a big feedback from the dancing audience.
Well, you always get a good buzz,
You got a great buzz of them. Yeah.
So Raymond, what other resident jobs would you have had over the years?
Well, I had a resident job in Keogh Hotel for a number of years.
Right.
With a group called the Max Trio. Brendan Keogh would come up and sing a few songs and play a few tunes on the trumpet with us. I'll still play as a Melody Max from time to time.
Okay. And would you play in many places, or?
Well, we just do a few local places around the locality here. We don't travel very far altogether.
All right.
So it's just something handy,
And would the playlist still be much the same as
much
before?
the same.
Or?
Yeah, much the same as before. The old songs and tunes that the older people know. That's the kind of stuff we would do. Yeah.
All right, very good.
Sing-alongs and ballads.
Right. So Raymond, was there any other groups or bands that you would have played with during your time in the music business at all?
Yes, a three-piece band called Men of the Road, namely with Michael Gallagher and Dennis Doherty,
Right.
Mcgroarty, and we would have played for the ballroom dancers in Jackson's Hotel in Ballybofey.
Oh, you went far afield there.
For a few years, and we enjoyed that. We had a great time around that time, you know.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Raymond, you've been in many other bands over the years, and I'm sure a lot of people looking in here would have noticed you haven't mentioned them. Just let us know so that people can reminisce on these so these names spring to mind for people, what other bands you might have been in over your time in the music industry.
Yeah, there's a few, Ciaran, that I hadn't mentioned, namely Freeway was one, Malhead Folk Group
Right.
been another one, and the Seasons was another,
Right.
and the Glenelly Dance Band.
The Glenelly Dance Band. All right. Yeah. Well, I just like to thank you very much for coming on the show for this episode, and would you have any closing words you'd like to say to? Actually, I just wanted to ask you, where can the local audience find you? Do you ever any gigs you might do in any local places or around? Where could they find you?
It's very, very few what I do now, because the years are on, and I have maybe spent the guts of 50 years at it. Now I do an odd wee night in the Tevenakilla here in Mohill, and I do an odd Wednesday afternoon out in Malin at the centre out there, and that's about nearly all I do anymore. Yeah.
All right.
That's usually the most of it.
That's grand, Raymond. Well, thank you very much for being with us today for the Keogh show. Thank you, and
Thanks a lot.
God bless and all the best in the future.
Thank you very much, Ciaran. Thank you.
All right, Raymond.